appears to be driven primarily by the shipbuilding and equipment industries. The number of manufacturing employees in Busan last month marked a 15% increase compared to the same period last year, according to Statistics Korea. Particularly as production volumes in the shipbuilding, equipment, and automotive parts sectors have increased, subcontractors have also been actively hiring. The employment rate saw a slight uptick, while the unemployment rate fell to about 3%, down 0.1 percentage points from the previous year. In international news, while the United States and the Ukraine have agreed to a 30-day ceasefire in the Russian-Ukraine war, U.S. President Donald Trump stated the ball is now in Russia's court. He confirmed that U.S. officials are currently heading to Russia, while expressing a willingness to communicate directly with Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Trump noted that he has not yet spoken with him, but expects to learn more soon. Additionally, the president expressed hope that sanctions would not be necessary to bring Russia to agree to the ceasefire. Now here's a weather update for Busan today. Partly cloudy conditions expected around 4 p.m. The lowest temperature was 6 degrees around 7 a.m. The temperature is currently 15 degrees. The daytime high is expected to be 16 degrees. Unwanted yellow dust move in today, with the air likely to remain smoggy through the rest of the week. And that wraps up this hour's news. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to BFM, 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Coming up next is Midday Mate with Kimberly An. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Not many places on Earth remain untouched by civilization. Sadly, when humans do get involved, it's not always a good thing for the environment. But there are still some untouched lands where nature is in charge, and it always produces something breathtaking. Today, we're going to talk about deserted islands. It's Thursday, March 13th, 2025, and this is Midday Mate. Let's get started! And that was The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. The Power of Love was featured in the movie Back to the Future and included on the soundtrack. The song has a universal message that works very well outside of the film. Huey Lewis was newly married and had 2 young children when he wrote it with his bandmates Johnny Colla and Chris Hayes. His family provided inspiration for the lyrics. And I see lots of people on our YouTube live chat already saying that was such a good song to start off the show, and I think so too. And welcome everyone. We are live in the studio in Busan on this Thursday afternoon. Welcome to Midday Mate. You're listening to us on BEFM 90.5 in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Cheongwan, and Noksan areas. And I am your host, Kimberly. And what do we have coming up on the show for today? In hour number 1, we have Listomania, where we're going to introduce various kinds of lists. And for today, we're going to be focusing on deserted islands, which is also known as uninhabited islands, also known as in Korean, 무인도. Do you know any 무인도s out there right now? Deserted islands, so no people living there. And we'll be talking about that for Listomania. After Listomania, we'll have Close Up, where each week Matthew gives you an intimate look at the works of an accomplished actor or director. So get ready for that. In hour number 2, we're going to start off with today's quote, where we introduce meaningful quotes to motivate you each and every day, followed by bite-sized banter, where we have daily fun conversation with a theme with Andrew. After bite-sized banter, we will have Don't Make a Scene, where we introduce useful English expressions after listening to a short clip. And if you've been here this week, you know that for Don't Make a Scene, we are in the world of Wicked. And after Don't Make a Scene, we'll end the show with Living Like a Local, one of my favorite segments, where adapting to a new culture may be difficult, but have no fear. We will share different tips on how to live like a local here in Korea. And I'll be checking all of your messages throughout the show. We have lots of people in our YouTube live chat. I'm so glad a lot of people are joining today. Hello, Benny-님, Juliet-님, 최윤정님, 상민park-님, and everyone else. Welcome to Midday Mate. And now, our question of the day, our text topic, it is, what 3 items would you bring to a deserted island and why? What 3 items would you bring to a deserted island and why? 무인도에 가져가고 싶은 것은 3가지와 그 이유는 무엇인가요? Remember, we're not just going to say X, Y, Z, but I want to say X because 뭐뭐뭐뭐뭐, Y because 뭐뭐뭐뭐, and Z because 뭐뭐뭐뭐. Tell me the reasons why you want to take those 3 things to the deserted island. And go ahead and send in your answers. Text in pound 9050 or shop 9050 and only cost you 101. Or you can also reach us through Kakao Talk for free. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Add us as a friend and send in your messages. And we also do have another free option, which is our smartphone app. Search again BEFM or 부산영어방송 in any of your app stores. Download the app, listen to our programs, and leave us comments after logging in. And now we'll be right back with Listomania after this song. Here is Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. And that was Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. And now it is time for Listomania, where we introduce various types of lists for you. And today we're going to talk about deserted islands, also known as uninhabited islands. And in Korean, they are called 무인도. First up, we're going to talk about Clipperton Island, located in the Pacific Ocean. Have you heard of it before? One of the famous and biggest uninhabited islands in the Pacific, Clipperton is spread over a 6 square kilometers area southwest of Central America. The island is considered a French territory, and its ownership has been transferred amongst French, Americans, and Mexicans a lot in the last 2 centuries. So it goes back and forth with ownership. And if you can see on our YouTube live chat, if you're listening through there is a picture of Clipperton Island here, and it's quite beautiful. Lots of nice and clean white sand with some greens and water. The island has scarce vegetation though, and you might come across a few coconut or palm trees. It is largely deserted and visited time and again by researchers. So researchers often go to Clipperton Island to figure out what's going on with the vegetation and with what's going on over there with everything else. And so that was Clipperton Island, located in the Pacific Ocean. And now, up at number 2, we have Barra Isles, located in Outer Hebrides of Scotland. These uninhabited Scottish islands are famous as Bishop's Isles as well. Made up of 9 small islands, this archipelago has only 1 uninhabited island, Vatersay, and 8 deserted ones. So an archipelago is a group of islands. So here there is a group of 9 islands, 8 of which are deserted where people do not live. However, one of them is habited with people. So now it is interesting to note that 1 out of the 8 and 4 have seen a human population at one point or the other. Due to their location and proximity to the Scandinavian countries, these islands often feature in folklores there as well. So back in the stories and folk tales and folklores, they have some kind of reference to these islands as well, the Barra Isles, also known as the Bishop's Isles. Up at number 3, we have one that is located in East Timor, which is in the Indian Ocean, called Yako Island. Yako Island. It's spelled with a J, but it's pronounced Yako. Jaco Island. Another stunning entry on this list of uninhabited islands with fresh water, Yako is deserted because the locals believe it to be sacred land, as 2 different seas named the Banda and the Timor Seas meet there. So they think it's sacred. They think it's something with the religious there, so that no one else is able to live there. It is fascinating to see as the locals stay away from this place. However, tourists are more than welcome. You cannot officially visit the place, but local fishermen offer rides and boats to the place. You can take a day-long trips here or enjoy some camping. And the waters here are also very clear and clean, and it also has some vegetation with trees and shrubs as well. And that was Yako Island, located in East Timor of Indian Ocean. Now, something a little bit closer to us over in Asia is the Okunoshima Island, located in Takehara of Japan. 3 kilometers off the coast of Japan, Okunoshima Island is overrun with rabbits, which are not native to the land, but there are no human residents. It was the site of a chemical weapons plant that produced poison gas from 1929 to 1945. In one rabbit origin story, the Allied occupation forces dismantled the plant and let laboratory animals go free and wild. And the bunnies quickly populated the island. Another tale suggests that visiting school children released rabbits on the island in 1971. Okunoshima was open to tourism in the 1960s, and since then it caused visitor numbers to soar. So if you were to think about an island with lots of different bunnies, you can think of this island here in Japan. Again, it is called Okunoshima Island. And we have a message here from Chae Sung-nim saying, I wonder how they live on a deserted island? Well, as I know, bunnies are herbivores, aren't they? And they would eat plants instead. So I'm sure that there are a lot of plants there for them to, munch on. And since it is an island, they are surrounded by water, so they can get their water sources there. But again, I'm not a scientific person, so that is just my guess on how the rabbits live on this deserted island. Phew. Now at number 5. This is kind of a long one, but I tried to practice my pronunciation before the radio show. Here we have Shikashikare Island. Here again, Shikashikare Island, located in the Caribbean Sea, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. One of the most beautiful uninhabited Caribbean islands, Shikashikare is a part of the Trinidad and Tobago. The island was named by Columbus as caracal, which is snail in Spanish, after its peculiar and weird shape. So I'm assuming that the shape is of a snail. So that's why they called it caracal, which is snail in Spanish again. It is a part of the Bocas Islands spread between Trinidad and Venezuela. The island today has a lighthouse along with a functional radar station. However, back in the day, this place was populated as a cotton plantation. It was populated by nuns nursing lepers as it became a leper colony later on. So there's lots of history to this island as well. Shikashikare Island. Up next at number 6, we have Antipodes Islands. Antipodes Islands located in New Zealand. Located close to Antarctica, this Kiwi island is in fact of ancient volcanic islands. Listed as UNESCO World Heritage Site, this place is a natural reserve and entry is extremely limited because it is protected by UNESCO. For years, this group of islands has seen shipwreck survivors and castaways come to the island and try to find a way back home. The highest point on the island is called Mount Galloway at about 1,200 feet. The island is home to streams and different peaks varying in height. So it's not just a flat land over here, but it's very bumpy with different types of hills and peaks and different heights of different mountains. So that was Antipodes Islands located in New Zealand. And lastly, for Listomania, we have Devon Island in Baffin Bay of Canada. One of the largest uninhabited islands in the world, Devon Island is one of the most wonderful places to see in the world. It is so barren, which means that it is empty, that its beauty is almost stunning. Spread over 55,000 square kilometers of area, the island covers ranges like Cunningham Mountains. Interesting thing to note about this desert island is that the fact that its unique landscape has attracted interest from NASA scientists. I wonder why. Its similarity with Mars in the terms of surface has led them to experiment here to simulate the travel and living of the red planet of Mars. So since this island has the landscape of Mars, lots of NASA astronauts and scientists go there to do some sort of research. And that was our list for Listomania. Uninhabited islands may seem like places of mystery, isolation, or even adventure. Some have histories of human settlement but remain empty today, while others are avoided due to cultural beliefs. So from scientific research to tourism, these islands continue to capture our curiosity despite their lack of permanent residence. While many of these islands remain untouched, a few have fascinating pasts. Some serve as reminders of history, while others, like Devon Island, help shape the future of space exploration. These islands may be deserted, but their stories are far from empty. And that was our list for today for Listomania with our deserted islands, Muindo. I hope you're able to go ahead and research a little bit more if this piqued your interest and look around for more information about these deserted islands. Now let's take a song break. Here is Who by Jimin.
Never met, but she's all I see at night. Never met, but she's always on my mind. Wanna give her the world and so much more. Who is my heart waiting for? If every day I think about her, yeah, every day of my life, then tell me why I haven't found her. Why? There's so many people to see, places to go. We still haven't found the love. We never met, but she's all I see at night. Never met, but she's always on my mind. Wanna give her the world and so much more. Who is my heart waiting for? I'll take her places they ain't found, yeah. I'll put it all on the line. I'll be there so much she can count on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's so many people to see, places to go. We still haven't found the love. We never met, but she's all I see at night. Never met, but she's always on my mind. Wanna give her the world and so much more. Who is my heart waiting for? Is she someone that I see every day? Is she somewhere 1,000 miles away? Wanna give her the world and so much more. Who is my heart waiting for? 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 Never met, but she's all I see at night. Never met, but she's always on my mind. Wanna give her the world and so much more. Who is my heart waiting for? Is she someone that I see every day? Is she somewhere 1,000 miles away? Wanna give her the world and so much more. Who is my heart waiting for?
And welcome back, everyone. You just listened to Who by Jimin. And I'm your host, Kimberly, and you are listening to the awesome show of Midday Mate. Again, our question of the day and text topic is, what 3 items would you bring to a deserted island and why? What 3 items would you bring to a deserted island and why? 무인도에 가져가고 싶은 것은 3가지와 그 이유는 무엇인가요? So I do have a message here from Benny Neem saying, for the text topic answer, Benny Neem says, for me, a book, glasses, and wallet. No phone, no life if I can go to a deserted island. Interesting. So no phone? Why would you take your wallet to a deserted island, Benny Neem? I want to know the reason why behind it, because I don't think you'll have anywhere to spend your money. Or, maybe when you get saved and rescued from the deserted island, they'll need some identification. Maybe that's why you would take your wallet. That's actually a good idea too. For me, I'm not quite sure with my 3 answers yet, so I'm going to hold off to the next time we talk about our question of the day. But if you have your answer ready, go ahead and send it in. Text in pound 9050 or shop 9050 and it'll only cost you 101. Or reach us through Kakao Talk. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Add us and send in your messages for free. And we also do have our smartphone app. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs and leave us comments after logging in. And I think Benny Neem just answered my question when I just asked him, why would you take your wallet? Benny Neem said, K-pop photo cards. So maybe those could be of entertainment for you to look at while you're on the deserted island, since we don't have a TV or radio for you to listen to Midday Mate. So maybe that's a good idea also. Anyways, anyone else who wants to answer, go ahead and give us a text. And now we'll be right back with our Thursday segment. And everyone, it is now time for Close Up when Matthew gives you an intimate look at the works of an actor or director. Hello.
Hello. How's
are
everyone
you?
doing?
Good. We're doing good here so far, I think. We're enjoying the nice weather.
Yeah, it is very warm compared to last week.
Yes.
I went to school with a jacket every day, and when class started, I had to take it off, which is a good sign.
I love that too.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you before we start with your segment, our question of the day. We were talking about deserted islands earlier for our Listomania segment.
Right.
And the question of the day is, what 3 items would you bring to a deserted island and why? So I need a reason for
Okay.
all of these.
Number 1, I would bring a pair of sneakers
Pair of sneakers.
because I think foot health would be extremely important.
Oh yeah, you don't want to step on anything wrong and then
if your feet are in bad shape, it's not good.
Yeah, you'll just
So-
be sitting there all day.
Yeah, I want a nice pair of sneakers. I would bring a short story collection.
Ooh,
Right. So Benny Nim said a book.
right.
Right. I think one book would get boring. But if you had a collection of short stories, it'd stay a little.
Those are pretty thick, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, it'd keep you occupied.
That's true.
And then third, I would bring a guitar. I don't play guitar, but it would give me something to learn. Right? You'd want to like improve yourself. You could get creative.
That's true.
Right. So a guitar.
That's very nice. I wouldn't even think about that.
Yeah. I mean, are we assuming like I can catch fish and stuff?
Sure. It's
But
your,
yeah, I'm
it's
gonna
your
go with
world.
I like it. Sneakers, a book, and a guitar.
And then you'll just catch the fish with your bare hands.
Well, I can create a spear from the trees.
Ah, there you go.
Yes.
Very nice. So those are Matthew's answers for our question of the day. Thank you. And now let's get into Close Up. What are we talking about today?
Right. So last week we talked about Nick Park, who is the creator of Wallace and Gromit.
Yes.
And when we were talking about him, I mentioned that one of his big influences was Hayao Miyazaki,
Yes.
who you hadn't heard of at the
But
time.
it
you
was.
know, yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. Totoro.
Totoro. Yeah,
Yes.
he's the creator of Totoro. So, to make a connection, I thought it'd be fun to talk about him. I think a lot of people already know him and they're
Yes.
familiar with his works, but they may not really know his story.
Ah.
So, to get more into the specifics of his life and, you know, when you watch his films, why they look the way they do, why they're about the thing. So, in the first half, I want to talk about the story of his life, and then the second half, talk about the themes in his movies.
Great. And for those who are not familiar with our Hayao Miyazaki.
Hayao Miyazaki. I don't speak Japanese, but I think so. Hayao Miyazaki.
Miyazaki. We have a picture of him and a few of his works on our YouTube live stream. I do know that white face, that mask.
Yeah. Oh, the white. Yeah. He's from one of his famous movies, Spirited Away.
Ah, yes. Because I've seen, I don't know, it was on my social media, but with a child who dressed up as that for Halloween.
Right. And we're going to get into this. Like, merchandising is a big part of his story.
Okay.
Right.
So let's get into his story first.
Right. So he's Japanese, and he was born in January 1941.
Wow.
So if you know your history, that should ring some bells.
Yes, that was part of World War
Two.
II. The beginning of World War II.
Well, actually, in Europe, it had already started. But Japan at that point was like
getting-
Imperial Japan. It had invaded Vietnam in 1940. He was born in January 1941. Japan attacked Pearl Harbor in December 1941.
Yes.
And then it invaded like Thailand, Indonesia. So he was born right in the middle of
All that warfare.
all that warfare. And then Japan lost the war in like 1945, and America dropped the atomic bombs, but it also firebombed Tokyo. So when he was like 4 or 5 years old, his earliest memories were
Bombs
and seeing
going
like
off.
these cities that had just been completely destroyed.
Oh my.
And this is all very sad, but it's important when you look at his movies and what's going on. The other important thing is he was born in the city in Tokyo, but because of the war, he moved out to the country. So he also had that country living, which also will show up again in his works.
Oh, very interesting.
So as a child, so the war ended. He was kind of sick a lot. He had a lot of like pneumonia sort of things. So he was sick. He didn't have many friends, and he was very bookish. Like he liked reading books. He loved manga comic books. His dad was a big movie fan. So him and his dad would go to a lot of movies. So as a teenager, he was really into comic books and movies, all that sort of stuff. And then in 1958, so he was 17 years old, he went to a movie with his dad. It was called The Legend of the White Serpent. So this is based on a Chinese legend, and it was the first ever full-length Japanese animation film.
Oh, wow.
So he went to that, and it's the story of this princess and a dragon, that kind of stuff. And he absolutely loved it.
Ah, I see.
Right? He was already into that stuff, but that film really kind of set him on his course.
A big milestone for him.
Yeah, and he kind of like was in love with the princess who he thought was really pretty and that sort of stuff. So that was as a teenager, and then he went to university and he studied economics.
Economics?
Yeah, but I don't think his heart was ever really in it. So he graduated and he got a job as an animator when he was 22 years old.
There you go.
Yeah.
His passion coming back in there.
Right. So he gave up on the economics. He was also really involved in like workers' rights movements. So like the animators probably weren't treated very well. So he got everybody together and
Give us our pay.
right, that sort of stuff. He was really into that stuff. So he liked working with the workers. And through the 1960s, he like slowly worked his way up the ranks. He made comic books, he made TV shows, this, that, and the other thing. And then another big event in his life. In 1971, for work, he went to Sweden.
Ooh.
So this was his first time ever leaving Japan. And he went to Sweden. And Sweden actually came through World War II pretty clean. Like it hadn't been bombed too much. And, the Swedish cities and that European architecture, that also had a really big effect on him. So that was another big moment in his life. And then in 1979, so he's now 38 years old,
Yes.
he made his first full-length film called The Castle of Cagliostro.
Ooh, his first full-length film.
Right, that he directed, he wrote. So he's 38 years old, he's finally got his first full movie. And then in 1984, he made his first really famous film.
Oh.
Just called Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
Yeah, the Korean title is 바람 계곡의 나우시카.
Oh.
So also, very importantly, he had a relationship with his composer, whose name's Joe Hisaishi. Joe Hisaishi. And Joe Hisaishi made the soundtrack for all of his films after that.
Wow.
So when you watch his movies, they have a really famous sound. And that's all this guy, Joe Hisaishi. Yeah, if I'm pronouncing that correct.
Probably better than I would.
Yes. Actually, in my apartment parking lot, they play music. And it's almost always soundtracks from Joe Hisaishi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're very recognizable if you hear them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to listen to it after the show.
Okay. But another important thing then was he made this movie, Nausicaa, and they released it in America, but the Americans, they cut 30 minutes out of the movie.
Oh, no.
And they thought it was like the boring parts. But from Hayao Miyazaki's perspective, it was like the really important parts where the meaning of the film came out. But the Americans
Cut it off.
cut it out.
Oh, no.
So he was really angry about that. And he wouldn't allow any of his movies to go to the US or Europe for that matter, to the West for the next 10 years.
Wow.
He was so angry that they messed up his movie.
I think as a creator, if you were to mess up with their creation, of
Right.
course they would get angry.
Right, especially like his favorite scenes. Right. So this is important. Anyway, he got this big success with Nausicaa, so
Yes.
he created his own studio, which is famous today. It's called Studio Ghibli.
I've heard of that name a lot.
Ghibli, yeah.
Yes.
All his movies are Studio Ghibli. The logo today is Totoro. Right. So that was 1985. By the way, Ghibli means a hot desert wind in Italian.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why, but he said he just chose it, but that's what it means.
Interesting to go through an Italian name for his Japanese works.
Right. I thought it was Japanese all these years until yesterday when I did some research. But no, it means a hot desert wind. Okay, so he's got his own studio now. He's coming up in the world. And then in 1988, he made Totoro.
Oh,
which is probably his most famous film. But like I said, he wouldn't let it be released in America. So you could only get it through like CD or DVD at that time. It wasn't in the movie theater. But slowly it became like a cult classic.
Oh.
So it was like underground, nerdy kind of people would find Totoro and they'd be like, oh, right? They were big fans. So over the next 5 years, Totoro kind of became a cult classic.
Wow.
But the really important thing is merchandise.
Oh, but let's hold off for the
okay,
merchandise.
okay. All right.
So everyone, I'm going to leave you at a cliffhanger. We're going to take a song break very quickly. Here is Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr.
Something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If there's something weird and it don't look good, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. If you're seeing things running through your head, who can you call? Ghostbusters! An invisible man sleeping in your bed. Oh, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If you're all alone, pick up the phone and call Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I hear it likes the girls. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Yeah, 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 yeah. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If you had a dose of a freaky ghost, baby, you better call Ghostbusters! Let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Don't get caught alone, oh no. Ghostbusters! When it comes through your door, unless you just want some more, I think you better call Ghostbusters! Ow! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Think you better call Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I can't hear you. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Louder! Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Who can you call? Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! It likes the girls too.
And welcome back, mates. You're listening to Midday Mate, and right now we're in the middle of our segment of Close Up with Matthew. And right now we're talking about Hayao Miyazaki, the producer and the Japanese animator, very famous for Studio Ghibli. And we're just talking about Totoro and then moving on to merchandise as we left you before the song break. So let's pick up from there, shall we?
Right. So Totoro, like I said, was a cult classic. So it's not like it made all that much money to make him rich. However, you know, the little Totoro dolls and the keychains and all that stuff,
Backpacks.
that was actually wildly successful. So they made way more money selling merchandise than they did on the actual film. But they made so much money that the studio could really expand and do bigger work. So, you know, today if you go to like a little souvenir shop, you can find all sorts of little Totoro and all this Studio Ghibli stuff.
Right.
So that's the thing that really lifted the studio to the next level, which is kind of interesting.
Yes, like I mentioned last week, I have a friend and she loves Totoro.
Okay.
And she has about, I think there are 4 stuffed animals in her car
Okay.
that she just has on the dashboard.
Right.
And then she also loves Totoro so much that she has like plates of Totoro, pens, of
Yeah.
course, and a bigger stuffed animal at home. And yeah,
Yeah.
she's a Totoro maniac.
There's a restaurant near us, near Gwangali Beach. It's a noodle restaurant, and I think they must have like 2 million won worth of Ghibli merchandise.
Oh, interesting.
Like they've got all these statues and giant stuffed animals. So yeah, people that really go into it really go into it.
So if you're a fanatic, then you're really into it and you buy lots of things and you
Right.
truly invest into it.
Right. And then, thanks to merchandise, Studio Ghibli continued making films. So in 1997, they had their first big global success. It was called Princess Mononoke, which in Korean is Mononoke Hime. So at that point, Studio Ghibli had got the rights when they released their films in other countries. The other countries could not change it. Right? So
Good.
before I said he was all worried because they cut it
off
down.
30 minutes.
But now they had a contract. You have to keep it the way it is.
That's how it should be.
Right. So anyway, from that point on, when they did like English language films, they got a lot of high status writers. They got A-list celebrities to the voices.
Wow.
And really took off. In 2001, there was Spirited Away, which in Korean is 생과 치히로의 행방불명. I really loved that one.
I think that's really popular also, as you mentioned with the mask face that I know.
That's what that's from. Yeah. 2004, there were Howl's Moving Castle, 하울의 움직이는 성. The book that's based on is really good. I really recommend it. It's by Diana Wynne Jones. So if you like fantasy, go check out the book. It's very different than the movie. I'll just throw that in there. 2008, there was ponyo, 벼랑 위의 ponyo. I like that one too. And then he retired. And then in 2023, he made his final film. It's called The Boy and the Heron. 그대들은 어떻게 살 것인가?
Oh, that Korean one is very different from the English title.
It's very, very different. To be perfectly honest, it's my least favorite.
Oh, no.
But at my university, I have animation majors, and they really like it.
I see.
So I think I need to give it a second chance.
I think so too then.
But I really like all the other ones I named. That one, it's weird. I gotta watch it again.
Maybe your standards were way too high for his like final last animation, and then it was kind of it's not to my expectations.
Right. Or I don't know. Maybe he's just on another level and I haven't caught. Anyway,
That's true too.
I got to try it again. So anyway, that's where he is now. He's very famous. So before we finish, I just want to mention some of the big themes that come out in his work. So a big one is the horrors of war,
right.
which you can understand based on his childhood. So in the Nausicaa film, Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke, there's a lot of war. Can be kind of violent. And even, it's not simple, because like the good guys are fighting the bad guys, but because of war, the good guys kind of get destroyed in the process. So that's a big theme in his work. Another one is environmental sustainability. So humans are always destroying forests, they're dumping things in the ocean, and a lot of his stories are kind of saving nature. And there's all these kind of weird animal, plant creatures, but that's like what does a lot of the merchandise. These kind of cute little, rabbit plants, sort of things. They're all very fantastic. But his movies are full of nature and the environment mixed with animals and mixed with people kind of thing. So environmental sustainability is a big one. Country living. So he really likes the country, and especially Totoro. So I don't think I need to worry about spoilers. But in Totoro, the little girls, they're out in the country, they're exploring like little nooks and crannies, they're going in trees and stuff. So my daughter loves Totoro.
I see.
Right? Because they have that childlike sense of nature. Which also leads into another theme, which is childhood innocence.
Right.
So in his movies, the main character a lot of the time is a child. And the child often is like saving the adults from themselves. So in Spirited Away, because Sengwa Chihiro, like the parents, like they got pigging out on all this food and they turn into pigs.
Oh.
And then the daughter's like left alone and eventually she has to save the parents.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and in Ponyo, the little boy, the little girl, she has to save everybody. So the children, and it's their innocence that always kind of allows them to be their heroes.
I see.
So childhood innocence is a big one. And also, I mentioned he went to Sweden in the 70s.
Yes.
Visually, a big thing in a lot of his movies are like these kind of old European-style cities.
Ah.
So like they do these big overviews, it's all this classical architecture, and kind of the really beautiful imagery is like based on his experience in Europe.
Oh, it must have made a big impression on him when he moved over there.
Right. Well, he just visited. But yeah, it tends to be two things. It's either the Japanese countryside or these European cities.
Oh, I see.
They always tend to be the two settings for his works. And, when you look at other people who have talked about him as their influence, like I didn't make a list because the list is so long. Like I would just be reading for 5 minutes, but tons and tons of people list him as an influence. So when you go watch Totoro, it doesn't look that dated. And I think the reason is because he influenced all these people after him.
I see.
Right? So his style that he developed back then, like we still recognize today because he had such a big influence.
And I really like that, as you're just mentioning about the different works that he did, it's not just popular within children, but a lot of adults also really appreciate his work too.
Yeah, you can watch it with your kids and appreciate it on another level.
Exactly.
Yeah. And fun final note, in 2001, they made a Ghibli museum in Tokyo that Miyazaki designed himself.
Oh.
So if you ever go to Tokyo, I've never been there, but it looks amazing. So if you want to visit, I suggest going there.
Yes, go ahead and visit the Ghibli Museum in Tokyo, everyone. And Matthew, thank you so much for this whole talk. I really liked it. I didn't watch any of the movies, but I will make sure to watch it over the weekend.
All of them?
One of them.
Okay.
And then I'll bring back some notes for next week.
Okay. I would go with Spirited Away.
Spirited Away?
But you can choose.
Okay.
But I would go Spirited Away.
I'll talk to you about it next week then. Well, thank you so much, and I'll see you next Thursday.
All right. See you next time. Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
And everyone, that's the end of our first hour. I'll be back at 1 p.m. after this song. Here is Waiting for a Star to Fall by Boy Meets Girl.
1 o'clock.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
What's up, Dochi?
Hey, girl.
You know, it's been a little minute since you and I have had a chat.
How's it really?
Probably since, like, your last EP, All the Places You'll Go.
Oh, wow. It's been a minute. Yeah.
I've been getting some calls.
Oh.
People are a little bit worried about you.
Not worried.
And I know that I was kind of that outlet for you, so
You were.
why don't you just tell me what's been going on?
Okay. Remember old dude from 2019, nice clean, did me dirtier than laundry. Took a scroll through his IG just to get a DM from his wifey. I was so confused, what should Dochi do? She didn't know about me and I didn't know about Sue. I opened up the messages and had to hit the Zoom. Turns out the girl was really a dude. Think he slicked back till I slipped back. Got my lick back, turned it to a knick-knack. I moved on, dropped a couple of songs, and then I went and got signed. Now it's 2021.
Okay, I just feel like this is the perfect opportunity for us to just take a second and kind of unpack what's happened to you. You know, this guy cheated on you and...
Nah. Okay. Platinum record this, Bible record that. I'm making so much money, I'm all over the net. I'm moving so fast, no time to process. And no, I'm not in a gang, but I'm always on set. Wristwatch, drip drop, label want the TikToks. Now I'm making TikTok music, what beef? I need a cleanse, need a detox, but we ain't got time to stop. The charts need us. Fast forward me, 2023. I'm stacking lots of cheese and making money. My grass is really green and honestly, I can't even cap no more. This is a really dark time for me. I'm going through a lot.
By a lot, you mean...
I wouldn't. No, it's a natural plan.
No, I'm not judging.
I'm not an addict.
I'm just saying.
I don't
You
think.
want to talk about it?
I mean, I like getting money. I like day drinking and day parties in Hollywood. I like doing Hollywood. What can I say? That works, it feels good, and my self-worth's at an all-time low. And just when it couldn't get worse, my ex crashed my place and destroyed all I owned. Whoopsie, made a oopsie. $100,000 oops made me loopy. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Don't wanna have to turn it guts into soup beans.
Whoa. Okay, Dochi. We don't want to revert back into our old ways. So we're going to try a breathing exercise, okay?
All right, word.
When I breathe, you breathe. All right? Let's go.
And welcome back, mates. You just heard Denial is a River by Doichi. Denial is a River is a phrase popularized by the talk show host Wendy Williams, who was addressing a caller who caught her husband cheating on her. The song is a showcase for Doichi's sharp wit, honed from lots of writing and delivered with an array of dexterous flows. Doichi sang Denial is a River at the Grammy Awards in 2025, where Alligator Bites Never Heal took the prize for the Best Rap Album. She was nominated also for the Best New Artist, but went to Chappelle Rowan. Hello, we're live in the studio in Busan on this Thursday afternoon. Welcome to Midday Mate. You're listening to us on BEFM 90.5 in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Cheongwan, and Noksan areas. And I'm your host, Kimberly. And now it is time for our number 2. We're going to start off with today's quotes, where we introduce meaningful quotes to motivate you each and every day. Followed by bite-sized banter, where we have daily fun conversation with a theme with Andrew. After that, we'll have Don't Make a Scene, where we introduce useful English expressions after listening to a short clip. And then we're going to wrap up the show with the segment titled Living Like a Local, where adapting to a new culture may be difficult, but have no fear. We will share different tips on how to live like a local. And our question of the day and text topic is, what 3 items would you bring to a deserted island and why? What 3 items would you bring to a deserted island and why? 무인도에 가져가고 싶은 것 3가지와 그 이유는 무엇인가요? And I have a message here from 한학도 영어님 saying, 제가 무인도에 가져가고 싶은 3가지 물건은 성냥이나 라이터, 물고기를 사냥할 수 있는 도구, 그리고 생수입니다. 일단 먹고 살아야 남아야 하니까요. And in English, that is, the 3 things I would bring to a deserted island are matches or a lighter, a tool for hunting fish, and bottled water. I need to eat and survive first and foremost. And Manato Youngwon님, thank you so much for your answer and the reasoning behind it. For others, go ahead and send in your answers. Text in pound 9050 or shop 9050 and it'll only cost you 101. Or you can also reach us through KakaoTalk. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Add us as a friend and send in your messages for free. We also do have our smartphone app. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs and leave us comments after logging in. And now I'll be right back with today's quote after the song. Here is Die With a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars.
I just woke up from a dream where you and I had to say goodbye. And I don't know what it all means, but since I survived, I realized wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow, so I'ma love you every night like it's the last night, like it's the last night. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through, I'd wanna hold you just for a while and die with a smile. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. Lost in the words that we scream. I don't even wanna do this anymore, 'cause you already know what you mean to me, and our love's the only war worth fighting for. Wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow, so I'ma love you every night like it's the last night, like it's the last night. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you. If the party was over and our time on earth was through, I'd wanna hold you just for a while and die with a smile. If the world was ending, I'd wanna be next to you, right next to you, next to you, right next to you.
And that was Die With a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. And now it is time for today's quote, where we introduce meaningful quotes to motivate you each and every day. And today's quote is, even if you didn't do it perfect, you did it. Even if you didn't do it perfect, you did it. 완벽하게 해내지 못했지만 해냈습니다. Imperfection is a natural part of being human. We all make mistakes, we all have flaws, and we all fall short of perfection in one way or another, right? However, it is important to remember that imperfection does not equate to failure. So being imperfect does not mean you failed. In fact, imperfection can be a powerful tool for growth and self-improvement. The phrase, even if you didn't do it perfect, you did it, serves as a reminder that it is better to try and fail than to never try at all. Perfectionism can be paralyzing, causing individuals to avoid taking risks or trying new things for fear of not doing them perfectly. However, by embracing imperfection and accepting that mistakes are a natural part of the learning process, we can free ourselves from the constraints of perfectionism and open ourselves up to new opportunities for growth and development. When we acknowledge that we may not always do things perfectly, we give ourselves permission to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from our experiences. This mindset allows us to approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and resilience, rather than fear and self-doubt. By reframing imperfection as a valuable learning opportunity, we can cultivate a growth mindset that empowers us to embrace our mistakes and use them as a stepping stone towards success. So again, our quote was, even if you didn't do it perfect, you did it. 완벽하게 해내지 못했지만 해냈습니다. This quote reminds us that effort and perseverance matter more than perfection. Too often, people hesitate to start something because they fear of making mistakes. But in reality, taking action, whether it is trying a new skill or pursuing your goal or even facing a challenge, this is already an achievement. You just taking that step forward to go ahead and do it, that is a good achievement. Even if things don't go exactly as planned, the fact that you tried means you moved forward. You didn't move backward in trying. You moved a little step forward still. By letting go of the need to be perfect, we create space for growth and progress. Every attempt, no matter how flawed, teaches us something valuable. So instead of dwelling on what could have been better, we should celebrate the fact that we showed up, put in the effort, and made progress. Because in the end, doing something imperfectly is always better than not doing it at all. And that was today's quote. Even if you didn't do it perfect, you did it. 완벽하게 해내지 못했지만 해냈습니다. So now with that, let's take a song break. Here is Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish.
I want you to stay till I'm in the grave, till I rot away, dead and buried, till I'm in the casket you carry. If you go, I'm going too, 'cause it was always you. And if I'm turning blue, please don't save me. Nothing left to lose without my baby. Birds of a feather, we should stick together. I know I said I'd never think I wasn't better alone. Can't change the weather, might not be forever, but if it's forever, it's
right, and welcome back. You're listening to Midday Mate, and now we're about to start our bite-sized banter segment with Andrew. Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you today?
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad?
No, not too bad.
That's good.
Just living life. Can't believe we're almost halfway through March.
Seriously, it's the 13th of March already.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like it. It's Thursday the 13th, not Friday the 13th.
Yes, of course. We don't want anything spooky or...
Any superstitious people out there? I don't know. We'll keep it normal today.
Yes, we will.
But we got something fun. Now, I know... I've been getting to know you more and more.
Yes.
But I just feel you probably have in your, let's say, your Korean roots that maybe you have something good for today's topic. All right? So for our listeners out there, today's topic is, what's your go-to 노래방 song that always gets you pumped up? Or not necessarily pumped up, but like that is like your go-to song. Means you always choose this song.
Lots of people call that the 18번.
Ah, yeah.
So, 노래방에서 항상 부르는 신나는 노래는 무엇인가요? I don't sing many upbeat songs at 노래방.
Well, no, and I don't know. If it's like to pump you up, but maybe that's what I meant by it just gives you a good feeling. Or that maybe you don't even need to look at the screen and you always get the dan, da, dan, da, 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 dan, 백점. You know, like that's kind of like, but I'm curious, before moving to Korea, did you enjoy like those kind of bars or like singing? Because in America, a singing room or 노래방, or K room, if you want to call it, is like it's in front of everybody.
Right.
Not just with your friends.
It's like an open mic night at a place, and you're in front of like all these strangers.
Yeah, or it's people who've had way too much to drink and they're like, let me sing a song. Right?
And they're just singing anything.
So which do you enjoy more? Like the style here in Korea where you have your own room, or like that kind of like adult establishment bar back in America?
100,000% the setting that we have here in Korea.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
And I'll take it an even step further because I only like coin 노래방 now.
Ooh, that sounds like a high school student. Previously, there were more like arcades. Like
true.
game rooms that were like maybe more accessible, and they always had on the back wall a whole like bank of coin 노래방s.
Actually, I went bowling over here in Centum somewhere, and then they did have two little stalls of coin 노래방. So I would play bowling, and I would run in there, and then sing a song, and then go back to my friends.
Fantastic.
But yes, why don't you go first? What is your go-to 노래방 song that always gets you pumped up?
I probably have two.
Okay.
All right. There's like, and this is like where I would say, my Korean friends are very modest when it comes to the 노래방, and we'll go and, they'll be like, they're like, oh, I'm not a very good singer. And then I'll be like, well, here's the book. And they're like, don't need the book. Just give me the remote.
Right.
And they're like, boop. I'm like, you know the number?
Oh, on top of their head.
Yeah, it's like a 5-digit number, sometimes 6. So it's really funny. But for me, it is. Now, I want you to see if you can finish this verse of this song.
Okay.
I'm just going to give you the first word. This. Oh, really?
Oh, wait. Give me the second word.
Is.
This is? I'm not.
Dun, 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 dun. This is how we do it. There you go.
Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
Montel
dun,
Jordan.
dun, dun.
This is how we do it by Montel Jordan. That is definitely one for me. There's also not a lot of profanity or bad words, so it's good. But I think it was just like at that time when I was probably grade 7 or 8, maybe when that song came out. We just had it. It was all the time in my house. So, and my second one is, I do not sing it near as well as him. Do not do it justice. But would be Piano Man by Billy Joel.
Piano Man.
But that's like a crowd pleaser.
Right.
Like everyone gets involved. So if there's like 2 or 3 mics in the room, you're good.
For me, I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I sing a lot of ballads when I go to 노래방, but I won't say a ballad right now because, it just brings down the mood.
English or in Korean?
Ballads in Korean,
Okay.
100%.
Gotcha.
And then in English, I would probably sing like, the regular songs like I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Some Britney Spears, maybe.
And some Britney Spears. Bring back some Beyonce from back in the day.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Like Destiny's Child.
Ooh, Survivor.
Yes,
There you
those
go.
are the songs.
Yeah.
And then if I were to bring it back to something that's modern and more hip these days, I would say anything Bruno Mars.
Yeah. I think I would try, and again, wouldn't do it justice. It would be like a Benson Boone song, like Beautiful Things or something like that. Would be
yes.
good. I also like the Smashing Pumpkins, or actually it's just Smashing Pumpkins, not the Smashing Pumpkins. But like their song 1967, I think. No, 1978. That song. 1979 is the name of the song. Yeah, 1979. It's been a while. That song, but I think because my voice is a bit gravelly, and then so Billy Corgan's is as well, the lead singer. So I like that.
You know, for me, when I sing like songs that are meant to be pumped up, I don't sing. I just yell. So I don't really care about my singing ability then. But when it's a ballad, that's when I actually try to sing.
Have you ever gone to the Norebang and like, this always happens to me when I used to work at a Hagwon or an academy or something, and you'd have that one coworker who was kind of meek, mild, very quiet, like the mouse in the corner kind of person. And we'd go out for a heshik or something, and then, you know, everyone's going ill to each other, and then we end up at a Norebang, and this girl would just destroy everybody and be the loudest person and amazing singer. Did you ever have any experiences like that with people you didn't expect them to be a good singer and they were like blew you away?
Well, not singing, but there was this like one quiet girl that, you know, didn't really talk much, even at the heshik.
Yeah.
But then when we went to Norebang, she would start rapping. She loved to rap, and she would just like go on like, blah, 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 like so well.
There is actually a similar situation with me. Is there was a girl and I'm like, oh, what song are you putting on? Is it a Korean song? Like, I want to know what it is. She's like, no, Tupac.
Yeah,
And I'm like, what is going on?
That girl also did Tupac.
Yeah, I mean, that was like my 90s hip hop, like Tupac, Biggie, Snoop, all that kind of stuff, West Coast rap. I guess Jay-Z and stuff as well. But so when I hear a Korean at that time, like singing that stuff, I'm like, yeah, I love it.
Me too.
So even if it's not good, I don't care. It just like gives me like that nostalgic feeling.
Right, it pumps everyone up, just
Definitely.
like what you said for the
Yeah.
question.
Oasis is another good one.
Oh.
Yeah, like Don't Look Back in Anger or, you know, Champagne Supernova or something like that.
Some people would also sing Green Day.
Yes.
And that would be something that all of us knew because that's like, you know, when we were going through our emo stage back then.
100%. Yeah, definitely. Oh, it makes me want to go to a Norebang. It's been a while.
Shall we go?
Let's go.
So listeners, what's your go-to Norebang song that always gets you pumped up? It could be any song, whether it's Korean or English, or maybe you even sing a song in a different language. Go ahead and share with us. So Andrew, I'll see you at Norebang.
Yeah, let's go. Bye-bye.
Bye. And that was our segment for Bite Size Banter today. Again, our question was, what's your go-to Norebang song that always gets you pumped up? We have a message here from Benny Neem saying Just Once by James Ingram. But for K-pop, I like to sing Never Ending Story by Buhar and more. Ha 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 ha. Benny Neem's little ha 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 at the end sounds very, very scary. I feel like he could just go on singing a lot of these K-pop songs. We also have another message here from Ponim saying when I was young, it was 낭만 고양이. 오, 필수로 부르는 곡 중 하나였죠. So nice. Thank you for sharing all of your go-to Norebang songs. Maybe we will try to listen to one. And we also have another message here from Choi Sung-nim saying my best song is my best song, I think, is a trot song called 찰랑 찰랑. It's so much fun to sing the song with my family. Oh, your best song, I believe. 찰랑 찰랑. Interesting. I must listen to that later also. Again, like me, I don't really sing many pumped up, energetic songs, so having these types of feedback and answers from you really help me so I can figure out what I can play the next time I go to Norebang. And now with that, let's listen to a song. Here is Just Once by James Ingram.
I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. 'Cause here we are back where we were before. Seems nothing ever changes. We're back to being strangers, wondering if we ought to stay or head on out the door. Just once, can we figure out what we keep doing wrong? Why we never last for very long? What are we doing wrong? Just once, can we find a way to finally make it right? To make the magic last for more than just one night. If we could just get to it, I know we could break through it. I gave my all, but I think my all may have been too much. 'Cause Lord knows we're not getting anywhere. Seems we're always blowing whatever we've got going. And it seems at times with all we've got, we haven't got a prayer. Just once, can we figure out what we keep doing wrong? Why the good times never last for long? Where are we going wrong? Just once, can we find a way to finally make it right? To make the magic last for more than just one night. I know we could break through it if we could just get to it just once. I want to understand why it always comes back to goodbye. Why can't we get ourselves in hand and admit to one another we're no good without each other? Take the best and make it better. Find a way to stay together. Just once, can we find a way to finally make it right? Whoa, make the magic last for more than just one night. Oh, we could break through it if we could just get to it just once. Whoa, we can get to it just once.
And that was Just Once by James Ingram. And now it is time for Don't Make a Scene. I do have one more answer for our bite-sized banter question, which was, what is your go-to 노래방 song that always gets you pumped up? And it is from 상윤님. Hello, hello. He said, hard to sing but fun one. Journey by Journey, titled Don't Stop Believin'. And that is a very good song too. We would always shout that on the top of our lungs. Don't stop believin'. Anywho, thank you, 상윤님. And now it is time for Don't Make a Scene, where I introduce useful English expressions after listening to a short clip. And again, this week we are in the world of Wicked. Wicked Part 1 was released in Korea in November of last year, and it tells the story of how Elphaba, the future Wicked Witch of the West, and Galinda, the Good Witch, first met as schoolmates in Oz. And on Monday, we learned about what are you staring at? What are you staring at? This phrase is used when someone notices others looking at them for an extended, long period. And on Tuesday, we had the question, do I have something stuck in my teeth? Or do I have something in my teeth? This phrase is commonly used when someone thinks that they have food in their teeth after eating, or they're trying to just ask why people are staring at them. Yesterday, we went over the phrase, let's get this over with. Let's get this over with. It suggests that a person is not looking forward to do what's coming up, but wants to finish it quickly. Let's get this over with. And again, we're going to listen to the clip, but first it is when everyone arrives at Shiz University, and this is Galinda's and Elphaba's first interaction. So now, let's take a listen.
What? What are you staring at? Do I have something in my teeth?
No, it's just. You're green.
I am. Fine. Let's get this over with. No, I am not seasick. No, I did not eat grass as a child. And yes, I've always been green.
Well, I, for one, am so sorry that you have been forced to live with this.
Is that so?
Yes. And it is my intention to major in sorcery. So if at some point you wanted to address the problem, perhaps I could help.
She's so good. We love you.
And that was our clip from Wicked. Here, Galinda says this line to Elphaba, pretending to sympathize with her struggle of being green. And she says, I, for one, am so sorry. However, her words don't come across as very genuine to Elphaba, right? The phrase I, for one, is often used to emphasize a personal opinion or stance, sometimes in a way that sounds overly formal or insincere. And if we were to look at what she says, the whole sentence, it says, well, I, for one, am so sorry that you have been forced to live with this. Is when she was talking about, I'm so sad, I'm so sorry that you had to live with being green. But I, for one, is used to express personal opinion or position. It can sound heartfelt or condescending if it's said in a different tone, depending on the context and how you say it. It often implies that the speaker is making a distinction between themselves and others. So here, Galinda's not really trying to say like, I, for one, feel so sorry that you had to live with this. Instead, she's trying to put herself a little bit above others, where others are just looking at Elphaba and they're like shocked, right? She's saying, oh, well, I, for one, am so sorry, which really doesn't really mean anything that she's sorry for Elphaba. She's just saying, I am better. I, for one. We've all encountered moments where someone's apology or sympathy felt a bit forced. It highlights how people sometimes say things to appear supportive, but really they don't fully understand the other person's experience. The phrase can also be used genuinely to express a strong personal opinion also. So it really depends on how you say it and when you say this phrase, I, for one. So let's look at some examples. The first one was expressing a strong opinion. I know a lot of people here know that I don't like pineapples on pizza, but if you like pineapples on pizza, you can say, I, for one, think pineapples belong on pizza. That means that's your strong opinion about pineapples and pizza. Or when you're mocking an insincere apology. Say that someone comes in late and then you say, oh, you're late again? I, for one, am so shocked. So for here, this one's not very nice, right? It's condescending also. Oh, you're late again? I, for one, am so shocked. Meaning you're not really shocked. You're just trying to mock that person. And another one, which is totally different, is showing genuine sympathy. You can say, oh, I, for one, am so sorry that happened to you. Say that when someone tells you about a car accident, and you can be a bit empathizing there and say, I, for one, am so sorry that happened. So let's listen to the clip one more time.
I, for one, am so sorry.
I, for one, am so sorry. This phrase can be sincere or sarcastic depending on how it is used. And in this movie, Wicked, Galinda's version feels a bit fake, but in real life, it can be a way to emphasize personal feelings. Be mindful of how you use it so it doesn't come across the wrong way. So if you're going to say it with a lot of emotions, then do so. But if you're going to say it condescendingly, maybe don't even say it at all. I, for one. And now let us take a song break. Here is Don't Stop Believin' by Journey.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume.
Welcome back. You just listened to Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, and now it is time for Living Like a Local. And I'll be going over some cultural differences you might notice when you first arrive in Korea, and it's always interesting to see what can be a bit of a shock for those who are not Korean natives. But don't worry, I'll share some personal stories also of how I felt the same way and how I overcame these challenges. Now, today's topic is something you might have noticed while walking around in Korea. And they are the blue sponges attached to car doors. Have you seen these blue sponges? And if you do have a car, do you have these blue sponges on your car? If you're not familiar with them, you might wonder, what are they for? Are they required? And why don't we see them in America? They are the 자동차 문콕 방지용 스펀지. 문콕 방지용 스펀지. So, as the name already in Korean can tell you what they are for, the blue sponges, often attached to the edges of car doors, serve as protective padding to prevent door dings and scratches when parked in tight places. They act as a soft barrier so that when a driver or a passenger opens the door, it doesn't hit the neighboring car and cause damage. These sponges are typically made of soft foam or rubber material, and many car owners attach them temporarily while parked in crowded areas like apartment parking lots, underground garages, and shopping centers. So when I first came to Korea and I saw all these blue things on the cars, I was like, what is that? And why is it so ugly? And they're always that sky blue color, right? If it's like a black car, why can't it just be a black sponge? Or if it's a white car, well, the white sponge would get pretty dirty. But, to have it some type of mixed in and blended in so I don't have to see that bright blue sponge, right? However, these blue sponges became common in the late 2010s as Korea's urban areas became more congested with limited parking space. Apartment complexes and public parking garages often have very narrow spots. When I first came to Korea too, and my friends were driving and they would park, I was like, why is it so narrow here? I can't hardly open my door. I'd have to slither out like a snake. But that's why we have these blue sponges. So having these narrow spots of parking increases the risk of accidental door collisions. As a result, car owners began using these sponges as a precautionary measure. So now they're widely used everywhere. So I first thought, is this optional or do all cars just come with these blue sponges? They are completely optional and they prevent minor but costly paint damage. And since, as I said earlier, parking spaces are narrow, it allows it making it easy for doors to hit nearby cars. And if you've been to the parking lot, whenever I try to get out of the car really smoothly and breathe in so I can make myself skinny and try to get out, I always look at the other car and then I always see there's always 문콕, and there are what we also call them as door dings or door scratches. So I'd always just look at them and be like, oh, that wasn't me though. It wasn't me. My husband's car also has these blue sponges, but I feel like one of them I think fell off. So I think we only have 3 right now. Anywho, why don't we see this in America, and why did I first see it here in Korea? Well, in America, we have a lot bigger and wider parking spaces. In most American cities, parking spots are much wider than in Korea, reducing the risk of door collisions. Unless you're super unconscious about it and then you just fling your door open and then you hit the other car, that may happen. But the parking spots are so large that I don't have to, suck in my breath, try to get out of the car. I can easily just get out because the parking spots are so much bigger. Also, they have different parking culture in America. Many Americans drive larger vehicles like SUVs or even big trucks, and they're less concerned about minor dings compared to the car owners in Korea, where people often drive compact sedans. But that's not always true too, right? Also, there's less social pressure for consideration. While some Americans are mindful of door dings, there isn't a widespread habit of using protective padding. In Korea, there is a stronger sense of social consideration in shared spaces, and people actively take steps to avoid inconveniencing others. I feel like we're a bit more careful here. We don't want to hit that other person's door, whereas in America, it's like, if I hit it or not, I don't care. Also, for aesthetic preferences, in America, some drivers might see the blue sponges as unattractive, like I did when I first came to Korea too, or they may just think it's super unnecessary. While in Korea, they are seen as practical and functional and lifesavers. Because one time I did open the door too much and I did have that sponge help me not hit the other car, so I was like, phew, good thing I didn't scratch that other car. So yes, these blue sponges really make it or break it here in Korea. Maybe in America, if they have tighter spaces, it could be of use later in the future. But as of right now, I don't think it's of great need. And that was our Living Like a Local segment for today. If you've ever seen these blue sponges or if you have them, please let me know so that we can all share some information together. And now let's take a song break. Here is Lost Control by Teddy Swims.
Something's got a hold on me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in, and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind. How many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? Yeah, it's taking a toll on me. Trying my best to keep from tearing the skin off my bones. Don't you know I lose control when you're not next to me? I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not next to me. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me. Problematic. Problem is I want your body like a fiend, like a bad habit. Bad habits hard to break when I'm with you. Yeah, I know I can do it on my own, but I want that real full moon black magic, and it takes two. Problematic. Problem is when I'm with you, I'm an addict, and I need some relief. My skin and your teeth can't see the forest through the trees. Got me down on my knees, darling, please. Oh, I lose control when you're not next to me. I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not next to me. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me. I lose control when you're not here with me. I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not here with me. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me.
And welcome back, mates. That was Lose Control by Teddy Swims. And now it is unfortunately the end of the show. But before we end, our question of the day and text topic was, what 3 items would you bring to a deserted island and why? 무인도에 가져가고 싶은 것 3가지와 그 이유는 무엇인가요? And I do have a few answers to read. I have a message here from Juliet Nim saying, 무인도지만 로빈슨 크루소처럼 식인종을 만나는 것 대비해 총 한 자루 그리고 그들을 달콤하게 해줄 초콜릿 그리고 커피를 가져갈 것 같습니다. So Juliet Neem said in English, even though it's a deserted island, I would bring a gun just in case I encounter cannibals like Robinson Crusoe. I would also bring chocolate to sweeten them up and coffee. Interesting. So a gun, chocolate, and coffee. Thank you for your answer, Juliet Neem. And we also have another message here from ISHarm saying, 무인도 여행이라면 Midday Mate 들을 수 있는 라디오, 접이식 텐트, 접이식 의자 끝. And ISHarm said in English, if it's a deserted island trip or vacation, I would take a radio to listen to Midday Mate. Thank you very much. A foldable tent and a foldable chair. That's it. Thank you again for your message. And one last one I have here from Sangyun-nim saying, I would take 1, a mirror to signal planes or ships passing by. That's super smart. So you can get rescued, right? And 2, a lighter to make a fire. And 3, water desalination kit to survive. Whoa, those are very practical answers, Sangyun-nim. Thank you so very much. And you know, I didn't answer them yet, but if I had to take 3 items to a deserted island, I would also take a lighter first to make fire to help that. And then I would take a big knife or something so that I can maybe attach it to a tree branch so that I can do it for some spear fishing, or maybe even cut up the fish after I'm done fishing. And then the last one, I think I would take a blanket just in case if it gets cold at night, I can keep warm. And unfortunately, everyone, it is time to wrap up the show, and I've been your host, Kimberly. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great afternoon. Let's stop with our final song. Here's Fantasy by Mariah Carey. Bye!